Plum here, g'day champions, how's it going? And welcome back to this week's vendor reset, the greatest on the interweb. It's January 14th and today's vendor video is going to cover my top picks, hot ticket, interesting items and must-buy gear for the week. Remember to show your support if you enjoy or find this video helpful. A simple like is all that it takes, and if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe. Righto champions, with that said and done, let's get stuck into these vendors. Kicking things off this week, we're going to start at the countdown vendor where we have the safety distance. We've also got a point man chest piece. This one comes with armor, repair skills, and weapon handling. And the DZ exclusive, the Emperor's Guard knee pads. This one comes with a skill tier and explosive resistance. Might be a nice place filler until you get a better one. Just a quick reminder champions that the safety distance and the point man chest will be available from tomorrow at the Cassie Mendoza secret vendor. For some crazy reason, she does like to recycle these. They're going to cost you countdown credits from your countdown vendor, but they will cost regular credits at Cassie. Over to the lads at the Haven, and first up we're going to drop in and see Marco. For the guns, let's have a quick glance. He's got a Thorn shotgun, nothing really that exciting, and the gear. Razer gloves, not too shabby, decent armor and some crit. And the Badger mask, again, decent armor, crit chance, roll on some crit damage. Popping in next door to see our old mate Roy, and for the guns, we're going to have a quick browse through these. Yeah, pretty dodgy. And the gear, all very underwhelming gear. Moving on. At our White House vendor, we have the Anarchist Cookbook. This one comes with armor, status effect, and headshot damage. As for the other items here, an electric chest piece with crit chance and crit damage. You could swap that talent to whatever you like, but it's not the Henry chest piece, so I'd be skipping it. Moving on. At our clan vendor, we have the Lefty shotgun. We've got an Eclipse mask with status effect, Cavalier knee pads with armor regen, and we've got an ongoing directive backpack with decent weapon damage and crit hit damage. For the guns here, nothing that stands out. We do have Palisade gloves with armor, skill haste, and skill damage if you're looking at making some sort of a hybrid. And there is an Urban MDR, but it's got mag size and sledge. That's probably going to be about it. However, there is a 6.3% healing mod for the Mendocika mine. This caps out at 7.5%. Pretty tricky to get. Pick it up if you need it. Over at the theater, we now have the Eagle's Grasp. 11.1% weapon damage, they come with that 15% weapon handling, and this one has health. As for the other items, there is a SIG CQB with damage to armor and sledgehammer. And we've got the electric knee pads. They've got a skill tier, status effect, roll the repair skills to skill damage. Pretty decent if you're looking at making some sort of a status skill build. Moving on. Over at the Castle Settlement, we have the Relic. This one's got damage to targets out of cover on it, but I would be skipping it. The other items, pretty average, and the gear as well, pretty average. Moving on. At the campus this week, the named item is the Kim's Long Stick with Perfect Ranger. There's a custom M44 with DTOC on it, but I would skip it. The Black Market M60 here is okay. It's already coming with DTOC and damage to armor, so just put on the talent that you prefer. And the other couple of items, they're a bit meh. Moving on. Righto champions, it's now time for our Dark Zone vendors, and we're going to start at DZ West where we have the Calibre. Quickly going to browse through the other items. You know the drill. DZ vendor items cost DZ resources, so it's got to be a pretty decent item to be able to splurge those resources. The Yell gloves are pretty good. 151k armor, max headshot damage, and some armor regen. Shooting on down to DZ South, the named item is the Glory Days. And the other gear here, the guns, pretty average, and the gear, pretty average as well. Also, don't forget champions that each DZ vendor also sells exotic caches, so if you do tend to have a few DZ resources laying about, pick a few of these up. And the last stop this week is going to be at DZ West where we have the Claws Out. One comes with a skill tier and skill damage. This is the item that you need if you're looking at making one of those flog tier bonk builds. And we're just going to round it off by checking out the other items here. Yeah, pretty mediocre stuff. So sadly, that's going to wrap it up for this week's vendor reset champions. If you're interested in the daily targeted loot, it's on your screen now. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and make sure that you show your support by smashing the like button on this video, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Everyone's support is always greatly appreciated. Remember to stay frosty, keep looting, shooting, and giving them hell, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. I'm Plum out.